Hello everyone, I'm Alice McEleney. I'm the chair of the Doctorate in Psychotherapy program, and I'm going to give you a brief overview of the program. So this program is aimed at qualified psychotherapists who are experienced practitioners and who are interested in developing their psychotherapy practice further and developing skills and knowledge in supervision and in psychotherapy research. So it builds on candidates' existing knowledge and competencies and skills and enables development of an inquiry-based attitude to practice. So some of the competencies you would develop on this program are to conduct research that advances the boundaries of psychotherapy knowledge, make practice decisions based on research evidence and clinical expertise, contribute to the development of psychotherapy as an expert in your chosen area of interest, and advance the fields of psychotherapy practice, education, supervision, and research. So the program is a professional doctorate, so it's at level 10 on the National Framework for Qualifications, and it includes 240 credits, and it's delivered part-time over 4 years. And it's divided into two phases. So in years 1 and 2, students take taught modules, which enable them to develop their understanding and knowledge of theories and practices and philosophies of psychotherapy, develop knowledge and practice of psychotherapy supervision, and advance their understanding of research methods and research skills, which will be very valuable in conducting the research project in years 3 and 4. So at that stage, then after completing year 2, candidates can choose to exit with an MA in psychotherapeutic studies on successful completion of years 1 and 2. Most students choose to continue on into years 3 and 4, where they complete a research project and a research thesis. So these are the taught modules in years 1 and 2 of the program. So in year 1, there are 3 modules that are run over the full year. So there's one in advanced psychotherapy practice, there's a module in research skills, and there's a module in philosophy and psychotherapy. And then in year 2, there is a psychotherapy supervision module, there's a further research skills module, and a module on contemporary critical issues in psychotherapy. So the program is half-time, so the expected workload is similar to a half-time job, so around 17 to 20 hours per week. So it is quite a significant time commitment. Regarding in-person attendance, so in years 1 and 2, there are normally 24 teaching days scheduled, and they run over the normal academic year between September and April. And we schedule them in blocks to facilitate people traveling and working alongside the program. So there's normally 10 blocks of 2 to 3 days, which are Thursdays, Fridays, and Saturdays. And they're scheduled every 2 to 3 weeks over the course of the academic year. Most of the teaching is done in person. Currently, we have one online block per year, and it's expected that it'll remain in that format for the foreseeable future. And for some of the modules, the practice module and the supervision module, there's an 80% attendance requirement because of the practice-based aspects of those modules that are done in class. And in years 3 and 4, it's very different because there are no taught modules. So students are working on their own research projects. So they just have to attend monthly research supervision meetings, which can take place either in person or online. And that's agreed between the supervisors and the student to suit what suits all of them. So regarding assessment in years 1 and 2, the 6 modules that you take in years 1 and 2 are all assessed by assignments. So usually there's a mix of a written assignment of some kind and an oral assignment, maybe perhaps a presentation in class or a similar kind of assignment. There are no exams in either year, and they're all pass-fail assessments. So students get detailed descriptive feedback on their assessments, which helps them to develop skills and learn from those experiences before going into the research program. In years 3 and 4, there is a formal review each year with the supervisory panel. So that's part of the progression assessment in years 3 and 4. And then the final thesis is assessed by an internal examiner and an external examiner, and also by a viva oral exam. So it's very similar to the process for a PhD thesis exam. The fees for EU status students are 7,400 per year in the first 2 years, and then in third and fourth year there's a reduction down to 3,500 per year, as there are no taught modules in those 2 years. The requirements for entry include a primary degree in a relevant area and a master's degree in psychotherapy or an equivalent closely related area, um, and also at least 2 years of post-training psychotherapy practice experience working with a broad range of psychological problems. Um, Students also should be personally suitable to undertake an advanced taught program and show evidence of their ability to undertake a research project at doctoral level. And there is an interview process, so all students would take part in an interview as well as the written application. So candidates who don't have either the primary degree or the master's degree can apply for equivalence through a recognition of prior learning process, and that many of the programs in DCU would also have. So this allows you to show that you have equivalent other learning that's equivalent to the qualification that you don't have. And many students do gain access to the program in that way. So the application process, so firstly, the first part of the process is to complete a pre-application form and to begin the process, and this kind of screens to make sure you meet the basic entry criteria initially. So once that's been reviewed, then you'd be sent information by email about how to complete the full application. And the application requirements are on the website. There's a link there to the list of requirements. There's quite a lot to complete. It also requires getting 2 references, a professional reference and an academic reference. So it's a good idea to leave plenty of time to complete the full application, especially when there are references involved. Sometimes it can be delays. So I'd recommend starting the process early if you're going to apply. The deadline for completed applications is April 2026, but you can submit well before then if you're ready to. And there's no need to wait until near to the deadline. We'll accept applications on a rolling basis up to then. And then there will be interviews held after the deadline. There'll be interviews for all applicants in May and June. So thanks for your interest in the program. I've got a link there for the program webpage where you'll find further information, and feel free to contact me by email if you have any more specific questions. Thank you.